Patriotism is slavery. This was said by Leo Tosltoy in approximately 19th century, and you might have heard of him because he wrote this War and Peace, which, by the way, I think in modern Russia should be called Special Military Operation and Peace. And today we'll be dissecting his statement that he said about patriotism and see whether it is still relevant about 200 years later. What's up, investors? It's the Russian Dude, and this is your special episode for Thursday. I will continue doing daily summaries. It is just that I wanted to just talk to you these couple of days. I just wanted to put a face to this YouTube channel to make it a little bit more personal rather than just me robotically delivering you the news. And by the way, I extremely appreciate that you watch it and you extract value from my videos, so thank you so much. So patriotism, in its simplest, clearest and most indubitable meaning, is nothing but an instrument for the attainment of the government's ambitious and mercenary aims. Just think about it. If you want someone to do something for you, you must make them like you, especially if these are the people who do not know you personally. And the more belief, trust and love you place in your followers, the more ambitious, crazy and in some cases even inhumane goals you can announce to them. Just think about worst case scenario Adolf Hitler. It is just unbelievable how he was able to make some people believe about this concept of superiority of one race above the other one. And even though he brainwashed his people about the necessity to eliminate even the existence of these so-called inferior races. In Hitler's case, the patriotism needed to be on extreme levels that probably were never achieved in the history of humanity so far. And this absolute level of patriotism can only be obtained through unshakable and usually wrong beliefs of the leader. Combine this with the whole day propaganda that surrounds you from everywhere, TV, radio, social medias, and even some of your friends, and add here the elimination of anyone who dares to think otherwise. But the main question here, at what point patriotism enters its dire stage? And Leo Tosltoy says here that renunciation of human dignity, common sense, and conscience by the governed, and a slavish submission to those who hold power. This happens when people refuse to believe to anything that comes from the outside world. Because once again, just think about it, every country needs an external enemy, so that people can be united against this one common enemy. You probably have heard this phrase that enemy of your enemy is your friend. And this is basically exactly what I'm talking about right here. Patriotism is when people no longer see anything humane on the other side of propaganda. When enemies of the state are no longer even considered to be human beings. It is rather than they are just enemies who need to be destroyed no matter what. Patriotism is when being a patriot gives you the feeling of superiority and unity, and those who are not patriots are not your friends anymore and not your relatives. In your mind, these are the people who do not understand anything anymore, they're just basically stupid, and those people who are patriots are your new friends. Together you feel strong, together you feel unbeatable. And patriotism gives you this fake sense of community where you belong, because everyone wants to belong somewhere. And it doesn't matter if this somewhere is a group of people whose lives are being mindlessly wasted by the state to achieve their ambitious and mercenary goals. And that is what is really preached wherever patriotism is championed. Patriotism is slavery.